Hi Lynn, this is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. I'm going to give you some feedback on a TOEFL speaking practice test you emailed me, I think, a couple of days ago. You enrolled in my TOEFL speaking and writing feedback service at Better TOEFL Scores, and let's see how you're doing on this. First of all, let me double check, make sure I got everything ready. So, I actually have the IBT Independent Speaking rubrics here that I'm going to use. If I remember correctly, you're agreeing or disagreeing with the statement. Everyone should be required to learn a second language, right? Yes or no, and then why. Okay, so let's listen to your response. Okay, I'm going to listen to the whole thing, and then I'm going to give you some feedback. I'll give you estimated score also.
I believe that everyone should be required to learn a second language because it brings many benefits to our brains and our careers. First, learning a second language helps improve brain function. It makes the brain stronger, faster, and more focused. For example, students who speak two languages often do better in school because they can speak between tests more easily. For instance, I found myself as an international student at CSUSB. I have been learning English as my second language. It's not always easy, but I have noticed that my memory, my ability to think in different ways, and my confidence have all improved. Second, knowing other languages can give people better job opportunities. For instance, someone who speaks both English and Mandarin in my country could work for international business.
Now, Lynn, you're already past 45 seconds here, so remember that the independent speaking task needs to be 45 seconds. So the IBT human raters, they're not going to hear any of what you're saying right now.
And can find work more easily than other people who only speak one language. In conclusion, learning a second language is very
I like your
important
use of
for the
transition
brain
words.
and for the great future in the career. That's why I think it should be required for everyone.
Okay, so let's take a look at the rubrics. Let me turn my light on for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I think with language use and topic development, you're in pretty good shape. The only thing I'm worried about, are you managing time or is time managing you? So because you went past the 45-second barrier, that means that you probably need to get a little bit more familiar with managing and organizing your response within the 45-second time restraint. But still, language use is strong, good control, both simple and complex grammar. I didn't notice any major errors in there. Topic development, I liked your personal example and all of that. The problem is, you could be close to 4 in language use and topic development, but your delivery is down in the 2 area, unfortunately. Here, so speech is basically intelligible, the listener effort is needed. I have to really pay attention to understand what you're saying. Unclear articulation, awkward tone, choppy rhythm or pace, meaning may be obscured. It is obscured. There's a few areas in there I'm not exactly sure what you're saying. Okay, so based on this, I have some feedback I want to give you. So I give written feedback also. So says, hi Lynn, thank you for submitting your TOEFL speaking practice test. You're doing a lot of things well, especially in terms of language use, language control, and grammar. Your sentences are generally clear. Your ideas are well organized. You also included a strong personal experience example to support your response, which is exactly what TOEFL raters look for in high-scoring answers. However, your delivery is currently holding your score back. I'm estimating your speaking performance at 20 to 22 points, mainly because of issues that place your delivery in the 2.0 range on the TOEFL rubric. So let's go over what to focus on. Number 1, linking within thought groups. You sometimes pause awkwardly between words that should flow together. Try grouping words rhythmically and smoothly to create more natural sounding phrases. 2. Word stress shifts. Be careful with stress placement. For example, in the word career, you said career instead of career. Misplaced stress can make your speech harder to understand. 3. Grammatical endings, especially the ed and the s. You tend to drop past tense endings and plural s sounds. This affects both grammar accuracy and pronunciation clarity. Practice reading sentences aloud and emphasizing those endings. 4. You did a nice job using transition words, like for example, I think you said, for instance, you said in conclusion. That's great. It makes it easier to understand the connection of your ideas. But be sure to pronounce them clearly and pause slightly before and after to help you listen or follow the structure. 5. Sentence rhythm and word stress. You sometimes stress auxiliary verbs like can more than the main verb, like find. So TOEFL raters expect main verbs to carry the stress. For example, can find, not can find. Recommendation. To improve your intonation, rhythm, and stress, I strongly recommend you take my diagnostic pretest. You'll see it, Lynn, at Better TOEFL Scores. When you go there, look at the top right part of the page. You'll see it says free TOEFL speaking course. Click on the link, scroll down the page to the pronunciation course, and then take the pretest. Strategies to help you improve. Shadow native speakers using YouTube or podcasts. Try to copy their tone, word stress, and rhythm. Record yourself reading responses aloud, then play them back and focus on areas where your delivery sounds unnatural. Use Google Docs voice typing to see if your pronunciation is clear enough for speech-to-text to recognize. Drill minimal pairs of multi-syllabic word stress. For example, present, present, career, carrier. You're on the right track, Lynn. With more focused practice on delivery and feedback from targeted lessons, I'm confident you can break out of the low 20s and maybe reach your goal. Keep going. You're getting closer. Thank you.